Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today you guys from our friends at Hunkydory Crafts, we have for the love of masks, they're stencils. They're actually 5x5 mask sets. There's 4 stencils in one, and they make these beautiful images. This one is layering robin, and this one's layering poinsettias. And you guys, this is what the robin one looks like. It's so cute, and it was so fun and easy to do. I can't wait to show you how. And this is our giveaway card for this episode, so if you stick around, you're going to learn how one lucky viewer can win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. All right, so before we get into using the masks / stencils, I want to tell you how I put this card together. So this is a 5x5 card, and I actually cut down my little stenciled piece here to 4 3/4 of an inch. I actually stenciled on the Hunkydory lightweight essential card block, just a great big nice thick block of cardstock that is meant to take ink beautifully. You can use it for stamping, you can use it for stencils. I find it works great, and that's what I used today. And then I matted that 4 3/4 inch square on some red glitter cardstock, super sparkly. And then I added some cute little holly. This is a Christmas is Past cutting die, and I love that it has all these different size holly sprigs. I used this one and this one, and I die cut the holly green mirror cardstock from Tonic. There's 5 sheets in here. It's a great shade. And just put a cluster of 3 little sprigs of holly right there. And then I just used my little jewel picker, like that, to take these little red sparkle jewel dazzle stickers, and they just lift right off, and it's great for placing those right there. And then I just used a little red knotted ribbon from our red ribbon set. And then Christmas greetings in dazzles in red, and this comes by the sheet, so it's very handy. All right, so to make this little guy, I got to roll up my sleeves. We've got our white cardstock, and then if you've not seen how these work, Hunkydory has done a fantastic job in making this really simple for layering stencils. All right, so you've got your 4 stencils, and I would recommend looking at, it goes A, B, C, D, and I would lay them out. That's the first one, that's the second one, that's the third one, and that's the 4th one. And you want to make sure the notches are right there. And then of course, each one of these is labeled with a little corresponding letter. It's super tiny, it's etched in there. So that makes it really nice. So you're all set up just like that. And then I've got all of my ink pads at the top here that you can't see, that are all laid out according to how they're put on. So I've got red berries, well, that's what I'm inking. So I've got red pastel, tiger orange, khaki, dove gray, charcoal, velvet fawn, hunter green, and muddy boots. Those are the names of the Hunkydory ink pads, and the Prism ink pads are just such a nice size, and they're inexpensive, which I love, because they last a long time, and then when you're ready for a new one, you've spent, you know, just like a couple of dollars instead of a $9 ink pad that you need to replace. So it's a really good deal. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Well, let's see, this first one, mask A, we're gonna go ahead, that's the first one. Now Hunkydory says if you're going to put your mask in the center of some paper, it's a good idea to take a pencil and just mark some little lines right in those notches, and it gives you something to align. But if you're going to use it like I did, which is just to cut it down anyway, then I like just going ahead and putting it on the corner, because that allows me to just line it up with the bottom and the top. It makes it so much easier. So I'm just going to take some low tack tape, tape this down. Now you can put all of this on a craft mat if you'd like, and I do have one listed in our supply lists, but this is a background that I don't need to worry about getting some ink on. We sell our little daubers, little packages of 6 like this, and I think they're just really, really handy for this project. So the first color is pastel red. If you don't have all these colors, you would just look at the key and you would just be like, okay, I'll just do some red lightly there. Oh, I'm taking some orange and doing that dark. Some khaki, well, that's just a lighter shade of green. This is a darker shade of green. the dove gray, you could just do a black and you could do it very, very lightly so it's kind of a gray color. You could do that and you could use what you have. All right, so we've got pastel, red pastel rather, and for the red pastel we're doing the little berries. All right, and there we go. And now we're moving on to tiger orange. And the tiger orange, we're going to do the little breast of the robin there. And what I like to do is do one side of it, like the front of the little robin's red breast, do that darker. That's just my own little tip. Okay, so we're done with those colors and we're done with this mask. Now, because this is water-soluble ink, I don't need to put this in a bath of water or worry about it. I'm just going to rinse these off with water and blot them dry later. All right, so here's the next one. This is mask B, and I'm just going to align it here. Oops, tape that down. All right, so for this one, we're using khaki and dove gray. Go. And I've got the corresponding colors here. So let's do the khaki first. The khaki is going to be all of the little foliage around it, and the gray is going to be the body. This khaki green is my most favorite color of the green inks that we have, because you can do a light shade of it and it's a little bit limey color, or you can do a nice darker color and it's kind of an olive. It's a really versatile color. So if you're looking for a nice green, I recommend khaki. All right, getting to these little pieces. And we're not doing these terribly dark because we're going to do, at the very end, we're going to put some darker green over the top of it. Okay, we're done with this one, we're done with that color. So it's just, oh, I almost took this off. So now we're doing dove gray, and we're doing sort of the feathers on the body. And this is just a really light colored gray. And getting a little bit on the beak there. All right, done with that one. Now we can take this mask off. Oops, there we are so far. All right, so here is C, aligning the corners. Remember, if you don't want to do corners on yours, use those little pencil marks on those little divots at the top left and bottom right corner. All right, so on this one, we're doing charcoal and velvet fawn. Should have wore no sleeves today. So the charcoal is going over those little berries. It's going to get a little black dot on the berries, just like this. And on this one, it's actually okay. There's a branch here. It's okay if you get a little bit of black ink on that, because I found that it kind of acts as a nice little shading when you're going to put your velvet fawn over it. Same with the bird, like, okay. So on this one, we're doing black on the berries, and we're also doing black on the eye and the beak. Okay, done with the charcoal. Moving on to velvet fawn. And with that, we're just going to do the feathers, basically everything that we haven't done yet on this stencil. And as I said before, don't worry if there's extra black on here. It just looks great next to the velvet fawn. And then we're going to go do this branch. All right, and there's all these little like feather little accents. I don't know anything about birds, so I don't know what they're called, but they're just little darker spaces on the feathers. And then we're just adding to those. And then before we get rid of this black and we take this off, just take a little bit of the black on your fawn dauber and just kind of go around the edges of this bird. We're shading that a little bit, just like that. Okay, so we're all done with that. For the next one, okay, see how we're going? Now we have layer D. This is the last one. And we're just going to align these as well. Okay, so for this one, we're doing holly green and muddy boots. And so for this one, the holly green is just doing all the little accents on those khaki pieces of foliage. And then we're just kind of hitting the feathers and things with the muddy boots. So almost done. There we go. All right, so that's all we're doing with that green. And then the muddy boots is just a really kind of a dark, dark brown. Going over those feather bits again, all of these feathers at the top and the feet. And then some little parts of the branch it's sitting on. I think we got everything. All right, see, now doesn't that look great? And it was really, really easy to do. There you go. So you could have no experience with inking or coloring or anything like that, and you can really, really pull this off. Here's another version using the same stencils, the same colors of ink, but this time I used our craft colored paper. It's 8.5 by 11 inches. It's a really nice weight, and I went ahead and I just used those masks using the exact same colors. You can see how differently it looks. So for the background of this is a 6.5 by 5 inch card. I used Sparkling Season 12 by 12 pattern cardstock and then the solid cardstock to go with it. The same red Christmas greeting dazzles. And then these cutouts are from the paper pack. And then I also used the same pack of red ribbon as I did on this first card. So you can see very different looking, but the same color inks and different kind of layout. All right, so let's jump into the next one. All right, let's take a look at layering poinsettia. So this is a center step card that I used the stencil with. I went ahead and stenciled directly on the, on the Stampin' White cardstock, cut it down, and then put it here on this. So for the actual center step card, I used our die cut center step cards. There's 5 cards and 5 envelopes. They're already die cut. They're scored, they're folded, they're ready to go, ready for you to decorate. And then for the paper, I used 6 by 6 Simply stripes. You can see the red here on this side, and then there's also the beautiful green I used down here. I used the gold version of the Christmas greetings that I had on the other cards. I used the red ones. This is the gold version, which you can also buy by the sheet, and added Merry Christmas. And for the centers of the poinsettias, you guys, I added, these are gold pearl jewel dazzle stickers, which are so fun to use. Once again, using the little jewel picker to pick them up and place them. All right, so, oh, also some gold ribbon from our gold and silver ribbon collection. So let's take a look at this one. So all the layers and then the colors using Buttercup, which I ended up not using on the centers because I was just going to go ahead and put those little jewel dazzle stickers on there to make them kind of glitzy. And then using red pastel, letterbox red, khaki. And then for the mask, for the this mask where you have kind of the lines and the veins in the flower, you're taking the letterbox red and earth red and kind of starting with the darker color in the middle and then doing the red around the outside. And then the berry, like we did before on the other one, just the little caps on the berries have a little brown dot with the black dot with the charcoal. And then the poinsettias here, the outlines, we're doing just little shading areas with earth red, and then finally holly green for the vines and things. So I'm not going to do this color scheme step by step. Instead, I'm going to do an entirely different color scheme using different colors of ink so that you can follow along and kind of substitute, okay? Demonstrating how to do that. So this is a tent fold card. It's 8 1/4 by 4 inches, and I actually just put the stencil right over the top of this, okay? Just centered it right on there. I'm going to show you all the colors that I used for this and how I substituted them. But then on the outside edges, you guys, I used gingham #2 paper pack, just this one right here. I put a little pink on this side and on this side. That made that really easy. I used the same gold Christmas greeting dazzle stickers that I did on the other one right here for blessings. And for the ribbon, we've got a little gold glimmer ribbon. And then right here, you guys, in the center, I've got little caviar beads. Where did I put my caviar beads? And they just get sprinkled right on top. I lost my caviar beads. Here they are. Okay, so these little tiny little gold beads that we've been having so much fun with this season. We like to put a little E6000 glue on there. It's clear. And it really anchors those beads down. If you're going to mail them, you'd still want to use like a padded envelope or something to mail them, but they're not going to come spilling off. And then on the edges, I put these clear glitter dazzles, and they come with gold edges and silver edges in a pack. I use the gold edges. And then before I glued my little bow on there, I just went ahead and added, this is a little clear pen. It's a little clear glitter pen. And I just went over it and painted the petals with some of this clear glitter, and it made it so sparkly. You can see that. Look at that. That was really fun. Okay, so let's jump right at it and show you. So I'm not going to stencil directly on the card. I'm going to do this. All right, so so for the center here, instead of using Buttercup, I used Blush Pink. Okay. So right here in the center, a little blush pink. And then I actually went out a little bit around it, just like that, so that the center of the flower would have a little bit more pink around it. Right? And then instead of a red pastel, I used the Buttercup. And I think probably what I'm going to do here, instead of doing the entire thing, I'm going to just do a corner of it, because I don't want this video to be another hour. It'll give you a really good idea. So we're going to go down here into that one. All right, and then we've got our little berries and things for that. So I also used the Buttercup for the berries. Okay, so next, come on, tape. Go. All right, so now we're doing mask B. All right, and then for mask B, normally we would do letterbox red and khaki, but I'm going to do mustard color. And the mustard, I think, is where it really makes the difference in making these golden poinsettias. There we go. And let's see if I got everything. Yes. And then going to do the khaki for the little foliage. That's the same. Like that. Changing masks. All right, and then we're going to C, to the letter C rather. All right, so for this one, I wanted to do the veins in that same darker color of mustard. So instead of using earth, like letterbox red and earth ombre together and charcoal, I'm just going to go back to the mustard, but I'm going to be going like really dark, extra inking. And then we're still going to use the charcoal on the little berry tips of the berry. Go. And then we've got charcoal. That. Okay, getting the idea there. And then finally, the last one is D. And that's just going to give some shading. And for this, I'm doing something a little different. Instead of doing the earth red, which is the darker part of the red, I'm going to be using hot pink. It's like, ooh. Just adding a little bit more pink in there. Okay. And then finally, holly green. Just adding a little bit, oops, holly green. Kind of, nope, we're good on that one. Okay. So that's how I got this little bit right there. So yeah, you can change up your colors. You just have to have a color for each one. Just do a little bit of thinking. When I was, like I said, when I was done, I went ahead and did the clear pen and then the little beads on there and the bow. So yeah, you guys, these were really fun to put together. I hope you will check them out. Hunkydory has done a really nice job of organizing everything and making it really easy for us, which is wonderful. Here we go, I've got everything. So if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page and you want to help us support our YouTube channel, you can hop over there. We ask that you like, comment, subscribe. And this is going to be our giveaway card for this episode. And how this works is we ask that you head over to YouTube, do those like, comment, and subscribe, and then we're going to choose one winner. We're going to wait about a week, and we're going to respond to one of the winners saying, congratulations, username blank, and we're going to use their specific username. So you got to know what your YouTube username is. And then we're going to give that person instructions on how to collect their prize. So definitely hit the notification bell at the top right-hand corner too. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. Definitely check out the money saver on the right-hand side, and everything else is listed down below the video. If you're watching us on YouTube, just look below the description box and you'll see a link that will take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page. I'll see you next time.